You're good.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Mental Misdeeds with me, Dre, and Mr.
I'm Caleb Salvatore. What the fuck is going on, y'all? It's
Are
been
we
a
going?
minute. Sorry.
Yes, we're live.
We're live.
Oh, okay, good.
We're live. Yeah. No, it's we're starting a little bit late tonight because I had some other shit going on. But yeah, we're here.
Yeah. I warned the
Welcome.
folks. I put out a little post. Want to let you guys know before we start the show, we're having some heavy winds and crap right now, so we may or may not lose connectivity. Hopefully not. And also, you know, hopefully everybody out in central Nebraska affected by the fires is okay, and our first responders are okay in getting it done like they have been all weekend. That was crazy.
I thought I smelled some shit burning today.
Yeah, it was burning a weekend. Like we kind of had to drive, had to drive through it to get to convention in North Platte. So luckily we got to avoid that, and they got those fires under control. But as far as I know, there's more um, going on. So hopefully that's getting taken care of.
Yeah, no, I didn't. It was nighttime when I was driving and I was going like 100 miles an hour just trying to get there. So,
Of
yeah,
course.
lots lots of fun. Yeah, no, that's a brutal drive. I hate driving through Nebraska. It is the absolute worst thing in the world.
It's just so uninteresting. Like
There's
there's,
nothing.
we have that one bridge that you see that for 2 seconds.
Yeah, that I've never been in, like
Me
that's like
neither.
I need to go in it. But yeah, no, it was fun. It was like the convention part was not fun for me because that's not really. But no, we did the
Yeah.
show afterwards, and that was like one of the best audiences I've had in like the last year, probably. I mean, fuck, I've
That
never
was
seen a
great.
show where it's like everyone just went up and smashed, Like I've had sets that I've had were really good and other people didn't do so well, but that was, the first time I've been at a show where in a long time where just everyone just went out and killed it. So,
They really did. And, you guys had basically a packed house. And
mhm.
I had to call the venue actually yesterday because, of course, John lost his glasses. And so I had to call and see if they had them there. And she's like, when were we here? And I'm like, we were there with the comedy show Saturday night. And she's like, oh, how did that go? And I'm like, I think it went great. I mean, it was pretty much standing room only, packed house. I don't know what more we could ask for. How was it for you guys? She's like, oh, we thought it was great too.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, no, it was a fun night. It was for sure. I was not expecting. You do those small town shows, man, they're hit or miss. Like I was not
Right.
expecting what the turnout we had. But no, and shout out to the Mises Caucus guys for showing up too. That really helped fill out the crowd. But yeah, I mean it was like because those small town shows they can either be great like that or they're half interested and they're not paying attention to you. So I mean it is what it is. But fortunately that was a really good one. So really
Yeah,
happy
that was
with
a
it.
fun show. Even some of their bars close at 10, and that happened to be one of them. So
Yeah,
they
I know.
moved the party to a bar that stayed open till 1.
Not me. I went to sleep. I went to sleep. I'm an old man. I don't. I can't. I couldn't. I did not have it in me. We were like, yeah, let's go have an after party at someone's, at Scott's hotel suite, and then we went back there, and I was like, I'm not feeling it. I am physically too tired to get drunk right now. So that was,
Pretty sure, yeah, I went to another bar and then went to Scott's for after hours, and it was
yeah,
winding down. But I take full advantage of libertarian conventions. As long as the party's going, I'll stay up and hang out.
yeah. See,
I also don't have to drive though. I'm never responsible for the transportation
the
part.
driving's
So
the hard part. Yeah. See, no, I should be used to it because that really is that's road comic life. Like drive to a place 5 hours away, maybe spend the night, and then leave the next day. Like that's the fucking hardest part. What do they say? Oh, that's but
Yeah, well, luckily here in Nebraska, we have some of the nicest people in the Mises Caucus. I just posted a picture of them. I should have posted the one where someone else went through and tagged all 30 people that they could in there because these are some of the funnest, nicest, most cohesive working people I have had the opportunity to work with. And it's
and
only been a year and a half that this has been a thing here locally in Nebraska.
I gotta say, as someone who's an outsider to partisan politics, it's very nice to see libertarians that don't immediately put off autism vibes. You know what I mean? And none of those guys do. Like I didn't know that fucking existed. So
Aren't they fun?
like I sat down and I was talking like because I went and ate with them. I had dinner with them the night before the show after the
Oh
convention,
yeah.
and they invited me in and stuff. And like I was sitting there talking to them, very personable. I'm like, we're missing some retardation here. Like what is this? Like I'm not used to this. This is fucking wild. Like there's no like men in dresses here. There's no like I don't feel like this dude next to me is trying to molest my girl. You know, it's like it's all you know, it's all cool. Like so it's like, but yeah,
You're
I mean
killing me.
autism vibes is my middle name. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you give a flying fuck about politics, you are somewhere on the spectrum, but just not like let's be real, some libertarians are very far on the spectrum. You know what I mean? Like, come on. So no, it was definitely refreshing, and they're all very good people. So I appreciated my time. I made some solid connections out there too. So we'll see where it
That's
goes.
awesome. Well, speaking of libertarians who don't give off, autism vibes, Dan Taxationist Theft Berman is one of those people who is also one of our good friends and affiliates. So please go check out taxationistheft.info. You will find an amazing amount of swag, and it's really, really cool merch. He's also got a podcast. He's had all sorts of guests on there. Just go check it out at the site there. So had to plug our guy
Hell
Dan.
yeah. Hell yeah. That was a good segue there, by the way.
Thank you. I'm learning
Yeah, no, it's
after 5 years.
but yeah, so the day after Joe Biden calls for gun control, one of our friends in New York, comedian Zach Bravietti, goes and shoots up a subway.
Oh, dude, baby fingers can shoot a gun?
No. It was not Zach. It was not Zach Bravietti. He did not shoot up the subway. In fact, I texted him to make sure he was okay, and he doesn't live in that area, so he was fine. But yeah, it was not him.
So does he ride the subway? Do you know?
Yes.
Or
Yeah, he
okay.
rides the subway. He doesn't. It's cheaper than Ubering, he says. So he takes the subway and walks. But yeah, so this shit in New York, this is crazy, right?
Yeah.
So you have 29 people shot, nobody dead, which means this guy is just a terrible shot. Like, actually, no, he's probably a good shot because I think you actually have to try to shoot 29 people and not kill any of them. You know what I mean? Like, I truly.
Was he just peppering? Like, if you're just peppering the crowd, like
even then, it's gonna kill. Like, odds are someone's gonna get hit in the heart or the artery or so. You know what I mean? Like,
you get a kill shot at some point.
It's a morbid thing to think about, but yeah, I mean, come on, like, what the fuck? And then so this is, of course, happens right after news that the lieutenant governor of New York was arrested for accepting bribes on his campaign. So you have that. So you have a mass shooting right after, the day after Biden calls for gun control. And then you get all of the subway cameras just weren't working at the time of the shooting. So they Epsteined the subway cameras for this whole shooting. Yeah, the guy threw down a smoke grenade.
Right, I heard. So they're saying this was like a terroristic thing, right? Because of the smoke grenades and because they were trying to terrorize people and shit.
They thought that at first, but I don't know. NYPD and the FBI said there's no motive that they know of. They think it's just some guy went nuts because they watched. I guess he posted a bunch of Facebook. They know who the guy is. He posted a bunch of Facebook videos, and he was complaining about the mayor and just all kinds of paranoid, just rantings and shit. And
so yeah, if it's not political, ideological, or
religious,
it's not terroristic.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Like, how his gun obviously was illegal if he's in New York, because it's
it was a Glock.
Impossible to get a legal one.
A Glock with an extended mag, so it's definitely not a legal gun. They'll probably say it was a ghost gun. How much you want to bet? Like,
so what constitutes a ghost gun?
Nobody fucking knows. It's a made up word. It doesn't exist. No, if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments, somebody. If a ghost gun is like an actual thing, let me know. As far as I know, it's the same thing as an assault rifle. It's complete horseshit. It doesn't actually exist. They use it to scare people.
So it's not like a gun that you had 3D printed special
No.
for you.
No, I mean,
Basically.
I guess essentially a ghost gun would be a gun without serial numbers. So I mean, you could take a razor to it and scratch them off, and that would be a ghost gun, I guess. But I
Yeah, I
mean,
guess.
if there's, but
But I think what they're
that's
talking about now is they're super scared about the 3D printed because they can't trace them at all.
yeah, but yeah, good luck. What are you gonna do? The cat's out of the fucking bag. They're gonna ban. They're gonna ban build kits, and yeah, it's not gonna work. It's gonna be the same thing. The market's always one step ahead of the government. That's what I figured out. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I mean, it's
Especially here, this shit's been like kits are available and have been for I don't know how long since I've known
yeah.
about guns.
Yeah, I think the fear is that the ATF is going to go out and start shaking down some of these companies, though, because that's happened before. They did that with the full auto triggers that were getting that they banned a couple months ago. The ATF was going out and they were shaking down the dealers that had sold these to people and trying to get their records. And if you bought it from a reputable dealer, then they fucking destroyed their records like they were supposed to do. But here's.
Thanks, guys.
Democrats think that it's any gun government doesn't know about, but 5 years ago it was a homemade gun. Yeah, see, it changed just like everything. The definition changes.
Yep.
So I mean,
Thank you for that.
yeah, I appreciate it. It's like I said, it's not a real fucking thing. It's anything they don't know about. So I mean, I only own one gun as far as they're concerned. So hey, it's legal in my state. They can eat a dick. I fucking
exactly. You don't need to know how many guns I got. I got enough.
Yeah, I got. That's between me and anyone who's stupid enough to kick in my door. So,
right.
like, that's really all that matters. So,
it's the fuck around and find out number.
They're gonna make you have a permit for drill bits in New York now. Well, I mean, if it
right?
saves one child, then they need to.
Yep.
But so the guy's still at large. They have no idea where he is, or they've already caught him and they just want to keep people scared for a little bit longer.
But they know
I guess
who he is.
They know who he is. They don't know where
That's
he is.
cool.
Yeah. So there's like a massive manhunt going on in New York City for someone who's armed and dangerous. And I bet their residents really wish that, hey, maybe I had a gun of my own right now.
So I could protect myself from the guy running around with a gun who's fucking Looney Tunes and trying to blow up a fucking
he dropped his gun, so I don't know if he has another one. But yeah, he did. He had explosives.
Who knows if he has another one because he didn't get them legally, did he?
Nope. He had explosives at the subway too that didn't detonate. So he tried to Columbine this shit essentially, and it didn't work because 9 times out of 10 when people make bombs, they're fucking morons about it, and it never works. So, I mean, what are you gonna do, right?
Well, I guess that's kind of a good thing.
If they don't no shit. The Columbine kids pulled it off, unfortunately, but like back to the autism.
Did their research.
Yeah, back to the autism thing that we started off the show with. So,
oh God.
What you had some stories you wanted to dive into? Let's hear it.
Oh, I didn't really have many stories. So, did you listen to that Juicy Smollett song?
I have been go all day. I haven't had a chance to. No.
So I didn't. When I searched for it, I didn't find the song, but I found this clip of an Australian news people making fun of it, and they played a clip of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So one of the lyrics is, "Some people searching for fame, some people searching for clout." What were you doing, dude?
What were you doing? He made the song?
He put out songs today like "Thank You, Jesus" or whatever. It's all about his innocence, still proclaiming his innocence, saying they didn't want to find the real perpetrators, yada yada. So that's one of the lines. Some other people searching for fame and clout. Like, what were you doing? You were searching for fame and clout. You sent yourself letters. Him. Yeah.
And he was the only one searching for fame and clout. Like, they proved beyond the shadow of a doubt that he did it.
Right. But he still won't say he's guilty, dude. Like, oh my God. It's like, I haven't looked into like Twitterverse to see if he's out there still saying shit, which I'm sure he is, to see if like his initial backers are still backing him with his bullshit or not, or if they're silent or what's happening.
There's a segment of the population that no matter what is said, they are going to take his side. They could have him
Well,
on
no, I'm
video
talking about
exchanging money
like
with these guys.
the big names. You know what I mean? Like the people in politics and high up in Hollywood that were had his back from day one. Like when they were out there when this first happened. Like poor Jesse and justice for Juicy and
Juicy Small Yay, as Dave Chappelle
justice for
called him.
Juicy, justice for Juicy.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, he got his justice all right. So what a piece of
Yeah, a
shit.
whole 6 days in jail. Such bullshit.
Yeah, I know. That's it's fucking that fucking. I can't believe how that's been going on. What, like 4 years now?
I think it's two.
2? I thought it was more than
Yeah,
that,
I think
but
it was 2020. It was 2019 or 2020 when they had that awful, below freezing weather clap up in Chicago
well,
when
I'm
he
trying
staged this.
because Chappelle talked about it in Sticks and Stones, and that was 2019.
Oh, so it must have been in 2019.
2019 is when it must have been. Yeah, because
Yeah,
Chappelle talked about it in that special.
yeah.
And
And
yeah,
one of
so
the other lines is, "You think I'm stupid enough to kill my reputation? Uh, you
yeah,
did."
obviously you are, bro. Like, I don't,
Like you totally did. So it was so funny though to hear these Australian anchors just ripping him a new one, just talking about what a dumbass, and of course you're guilty. How can you release this song with a straight face and shit, dude, mate?
what a dumbass. And it's not on YouTube or anything.
I think you got to get it on like Spotify or one of those. I
Oh
think you
yeah,
got to
no,
pay
I'm not giving him the listen on there. No, fuck that. That's
right.
what a jerk off.
Mm-mm.
Is it a
Jerk off
rap song? Is
indeed.
it a rap song or what kind of song is
Uh,
it?
I, yeah, from the clips I heard, it's kind of rappy.
Oh, okay.
He's not singing, but he's not exactly rapping. You know what I mean? Because he
Yeah.
can't really do either.
Right. What is he even from? I don't even know. I just started hearing Juicy Smollett or Smollett, whatever his name is, but I don't know
Uh,
what he's actually in.
he was in like a show called like Empire. But what's funny is I was watching like he's got like a huge family. He's a huge family of siblings, and they're all trying to make it in Hollywood. And I was watching like an old rerun
Well, they're
of
all fucked
something,
now.
right? Of something when this was going on. And I'm seeing the credits and they say special guest star or something, so and so Smollett. And I'm like, whoa, rewind. And they're all J names. And it was a little girl, and I watched it, and it was a girl who looked just like him. So I look up. He's got like 6 or 7 siblings that are all trying to be actors in Hollywood with J names.
His parents just rolled the dice. They're like, "Look, you're all gonna do theater. You're all gonna be in like acting shit, and you know what? One is gonna be the ticket. You just have to be." And well, their son got famous beyond belief, just not in the way they had initially intended. So, you play the game, you fucking lose sometimes. What else can you
Right.
say about it? So
Like,
like,
yeah, you really are rolling the dice when you go into Hollywood. It can go very good or very, very, very badly. All it takes is one bad headline. You know what I
usually it
mean?
goes badly.
Right. Like, especially the younger you get into it. Those poor people,
Yeah,
those poor child stars.
yeah, usually it goes bad. Oh my god, did you see the bird shit on Biden while he was speaking?
No.
Dude, yeah, he was fucking it was in the middle of a speech and he was talking and a bird fucking shits on him mid
Where did it
speech.
land on him?
On his shoulder, on his suit.
Uh,
He had no
was he like,
clue.
oh,
He had no clue.
no, he
As to
didn't
mention,
notice?
he had no clue. He like kind of froze. He did his stutter thing for a second, and he like looked over, and then he just looked. He had no clue what just happened. The guy's on so many fucking drugs.
Yeah, but
He's
which ones?
Cocaine Joe. We've already talked to. We gave him. He's Cocaine Joe. I mean, what's that? Sorry.
Me?
Oh, I thought you said something.
Mm-mm.
I thought I cut you off. My bad. But yeah, no, he was the guy has just gone off the deep end lately. There was a video of him talking about the gun thing, about the gun control thing. He wants to make it so you can sue firearms manufacturers. Fucking stupid. And he said, "Could you imagine if the tobacco industry wasn't eligible for prostitutes?" And I'm like, Did you just say
I saw
prostitutes?
that.
Oh my God. The dude's I'm sorry. I'm not picking on people that are
Eligible and
stuttering.
prostitutes. He's not even using the right words. Not, culpable or responsible or
Right.
whatever, liable for
Liable.
prostitutes. Like, oh my God, you're fucking up every single area you
Right.
possibly can.
I'm sorry. I'm not shitting on old people. I'm not shitting on people with stutters, but God, the guy's a fucking moron. Like he's just so dumb. And
Yeah,
it
well,
reminds me there was an NFL player, Dwayne Haskins. He died he got hit by a car because he was jogging on the highway last weekend and it killed him. And they had a guy, an anchor on NFL Network's radio. He's 90 years old and he came out and his reaction to this was just talking about how much of an idiot this guy was, how he didn't finish his senior year of college, and if he would have finished his senior year of college, maybe he would have been smart enough not to jog on the side of the highway. And I'm like, that's a take. I guess that's a take, but
maybe a little too soon.
yeah, and I mean the response to it was, well, he's 90. I'm like, that's not the point, man. Here's the thing. Actually that spells the point out very well. Okay? He's 90. That's exactly it. Other cultures respect their elders to the point they don't trot them out in front of cameras and microphones to where they can say asinine shit when they have no idea what's going on around them. 90-year-olds in other cultures where they actually respect their elders are retired. They don't sit in front of a fucking radio, They don't let them run for president. You know what I mean? Like it truly is. It's elder abuse what they're doing to these people. We as a
Oh yeah.
society just need to collect the stones to tell grandpa to hang it the fuck up, Just go home.
Yeah. Everybody in his camp, his family, his advisors, all those people, they should be held at some point criminally liable for what they are doing to this man. He is
Well,
not in his right faculties. He should not be he shouldn't have this job, and they shouldn't be pushing him out there on whatever drugs they prop him up on, however often they fucking do this shit. It's ridiculous and it's elder abuse. And I think that
well,
they should be held liable.
you can't hold Hunter liable. He's not sober enough to be complacent in
Well,
this.
Hunter's
He's
nowhere near this. He's got
he's
no say in what's going on here. He's off with his hookers and his fucking crack pipe. And
What?
and
How?
nobody's letting him near any fucking laptops anymore.
Here's my question with Hunter Biden. Who has 80,000 images on their laptop to begin with? Like what are we doing? 80,000 images on a laptop, compromising images of you fucking hookers, smoking crack, doing shit allegedly with underage girls, and you drop it off at a laptop dealer while your father's running for president. How much of a fucking moron is this guy? Seriously. It never occurred to him that and you know what, he's a crackhead, so it's a rhetorical question. Crackheads don't think logically. They're never going to, and they never will. They never have, and they never will. So that
you think he'd have advisors and people like wranglers too. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, he's got enough money for it. He should have a guy. Listen, you and the whores stay in the room. I'll go get the crack. Stop using electronic devices to record your fucking illegal bullshit. Your dad's running for fucking president. Hey, I don't know.
Right. You don't think the Trump kids were doing illegal shit and orgies and coke and shit like that? Of course they were, but they weren't recording it. They were smart enough not to do that.
Right.
They knew that just don't get in the way of the family business and you're fine. We let you off the hook.
Trump never went on TV and bragged about getting some guy that was investigating one of his kids in some oil thing, removed, and then getting a bunch of money transferred in the same day. Like, the pieces add up here, folks. They are not. These are not hard lines to draw.
Oh, it's absolutely. If the shoe were on the other foot and it were Trump, it's all we'd hear about. I mean, it's clear that not only is the Hunter Biden issue a legitimate story, like not the laptop's real, it's not Russian misinformation. How much does the media gaslight us to where they say that the images that we've all looked at of the guy are fake? They're Russian misinformation. It's clearly not Russian misinformation. The videos, the pictures, they're all there. It's all real.
I'm sorry. Hunter Biden, if there's one thing you can say about that guy, he sounds almost exactly like his dad.
I never
Like
listened
their
to him speak.
voice, oh God, they sound almost identical. There's
Really?
no mistaking that they are fucking closely related.
Really?
And I mean, the dude, they both look very similar. So, I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
Same vocal cords too, apparently.
Well, yeah, I mean, so the laptop's not misinformation. We know that's
Mm-mm.
there.
It's
The
been proven
fact
and
that
proven, proven and proven.
he was taking backroom deals that he was underqualified to do in Ukraine for money is not up for debate. That happened as well. Joe Biden taking cuts from part of this. 97% positive that happened. Like it's none of this,
Yep.
it's not misinformation. If the shoe were on the other foot and the roles were reversed and they had evidence that was this hard on Trump, that is all you would hear. You would never hear the end of it.
Just like
It's
the
20.
dossier
Yes,
that has been
24/7,
proven to be, yeah.
24/7. That's all you can fucking do. Like, or that's all it is, or all you would
That's all you
hear.
hear.
Sorry, yeah, but I mean, it's like, come on. But since it's Joe Biden, and you look, man, I'm not a Trump fan. You don't have to like Trump to know that they fixed the election against the media fixed the election against him. I better correct myself. I don't want to imply that
Ooh.
the fairest and freest election ever might have had some discrepancies to it. The media clearly colluded to get Joe Biden into office, whether you like Trump or not. Time Magazine released an article admitting they did it. So it was very clear that there was collusion to keep Joe Biden or to kick Trump out of office on the media's end. We can talk about electoral fraud on a different platform that won't kick us off for it. But this shit's there, man. I mean, I just love how they call it the freest and fairest election ever. Why can't you just say it was fair? Like you see what I'm saying? The fact that they oversell it so much.
Yes.
The fact that they oversell that it was the freest and fairest election ever is what makes me feel like something was up. Because if it was like people embellish when they're trying to cover shit up, right?
Right. But yeah, like too many details, too much going. Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah, if there was no fuckery going on, they would just go, we looked at it and we didn't find any discrepancies. We feel that the results were fair and that they were legitimate. But no, the freest and fairest election. It can't just be free and fair. It was of all time the most. There was no fraud.
Right.
The door was not open.
Everything.
And it's the same
2016
thing with
and then, because that was a fucky election. They had to be a fucky election.
Yep. It's the same thing. Elected. Yeah, it's the same thing with the Hunter Biden thing. It's just gaslighting, right? Like clearly when you have more time. Okay, so whereas the majority of voter fraud is probably going to come from mail-in voting, right? That's just common fucking sense, right? Says that the majority of voter fraud is going to be where the person does not have to physically show up and vote, correct? So when you extend the timeline that people can vote through the mail and you extend the amount of people that can vote through the mail, of course there's going to be more voter fraud. That's like it's now I'm not saying that changed the outcome of the election, but there was fraud. It's clear. Like it's very clear that there was fraud, and it's just another gaslighting thing by the media who is totally got the blinders on.
You.
Yeah, and people that are the blue wave Ukrainian flag emoji folks that are just drinking the Kool-Aid on everything they're fed right now. So, but yeah, fill out that ballot for you, Grandma. I pissed a bunch of people off on on TikTok. I shared one during the election. I posted it was like a voting PSA thing, and it was about how TikTok or Twitter, but it was about how how important it was to vote, and you're not just voting for yourself, you're voting for your kids and your grandkids, blah 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 in this election. And my racist Trump supporter grandpa didn't believe that until he died in his sleep, and I stole his mail-in ballot and sent it off for Joe Biden, and a bunch of people thought that was real, and I was like getting reported to the FCC for election fraud and shit. Like, I legitimately, there
Oh
were
my
people,
God.
they're like, the Democrats aren't even hiding. They were using me as evidence of voter fraud. I'm like, dude, like, one of my grandpas lived in Florida and the other one's been dead for 10 years. Like, I did not steal either of their mail-in
Jokes.
ballots.
Jokes, people.
Yeah, dude, jokes are so lost upon people on TikTok. They don't understand. Even if it's a funny joke, like, I'll see like objectively funny, like stuff that's not my shit, right? I'll watch someone else and be like, that's a funny thing, so I'm not biased. And you still have morons in the comments. What the fuck is the matter with you? How could you do that?
Right?
Well, I'm like,
You're like, how did you not see this was satire? Or, like, did you just watch the same video I did?
dude, seriously, satire is lost among the feeble-minded. It really is, and there are just so many of the feeble-minded out there, and it's crazy how many people
I
just
feel so sad for people who don't understand satire and don't understand jokes or understand or enjoy comedy because,
right.
like, how else do you stay sane if you can't laugh once in a while?
I don't understand. Like, their brains must be wired differently because I don't
They've
understand
got to
how you
be.
can't detect satire. You know, like, there's, don't get me wrong, there's thick satire that's tough to detect,
Sure.
and I can understand why some people would fall for that. But there's other stuff that's clearly satire, and I don't find all of it funny, but I can tell when it's serious and when it's a joke. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like I said, thick satire. It's out there and it's tough. It's gotten me a couple times, but there's some shit that's just so obvious. And the fact that I don't believe we live in a simulation, but fuck, man, there people got some NPC vibes to them when they can't decipher satire like that. You know,
Right?
fuck,
Excuse
dude.
me.
Like, I was thinking about that. I don't believe we live in a simulation, but fuck, man, the fact that the runza is such a popular sandwich has got to be a glitch. You know what I mean?
Why?
Hamburger and cabbage wrapped in a giant bun. I don't dislike it, but it's just so weird that it's got this cult following to it.
Well, because it's only a Nebraska thing,
Yeah.
and people who move out of Nebraska, like we went to one on the way home,
Mm-hmm.
and the lady in front of us was ordering fried, ready to go runs, and she also ordered frozen ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we were like, oh, well, we didn't know you could buy them frozen. And obviously, I wouldn't eat them. I'm a vegetarian. That's disgusting to me. But I think it's because it's just a Nebraska thing. You can only buy them here, and because it's different. It's not a sandwich that you can slap together or whatever. They
Mm-hmm.
got to bake it together. For those who don't know, a runza is, I guess they take a piece of like dough to make bread, and they put cabbage and
Hamburger,
is it seasoned hamburger in there? I
seasoned
don't
beef,
know.
and sometimes I'll throw cheese or mushroom in there. Yeah.
Okay, and then they full it up so it looks like a tube, and then they bake it, and then you go and buy them.
Yeah.
And they used
I
to have really, really great crinkle fries. They've changed them. They suck. Fuck that.
I
But they do have
enjoy a
homemade ranch.
runza. I enjoy them. I just don't understand how it came to be so popular. I mean,
I
I
thought I would attribute it to the old fries because the old fries were so good. They made it good, and
yeah.
also because they'd also do that thing with the temperature, today's lowest temperature is what
Oh,
you'll pay
Temperature
for a
Tuesday.
runza. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
you
remember
pay
that.
like 34 cents for a runza or whatever the temperature was when it's
Yeah.
cold.
You order like a drink and fries, but yeah, I remember it'd be like 10 degrees outside, and you'd see lines out to the fucking street for runzas. Like, it was crazy. So yeah, no, I can totally understand that. But
But I
yeah,
hear they also make a really good burger. So
their
I don't
burgers are
know.
good. Yeah, their burgers are good too. So I mean, it's a decent place. I'm just the sandwich itself mystifies me. No, I saw this. They're talking about the simulation thing. I saw that people reach so hard for some of this simulation shit. You know what I mean? Like, you see some, like, there's arguments to it from legitimate, intelligent people. I don't know. Do you believe we're in a simulation?
No.
No, neither do I. There's arguments to it from intelligent people that can be made, and then there are just morons. Like, I
Right.
saw this girl on TikTok the other day said she thinks we're in a simulation, and her evidence was that the microwave and the oven clock were not the same, that they were on different times. And I'm like, oh my God. I don't even, and this bitch was dead serious. I'm like, I don't even know where to begin to unpack this bullshit you have just spewed upon me.
You know you have total control over those clocks, you dumb bitch.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
you know, if you hit set time and go up a minute, the simulation's over. Like that's it. You just broke the whole game. You know what I mean? Like, it's,
How low of a like level of intelligence do you have
yeah,
to be to think that? Like, has she never seen other people set the damn clocks? Like, wow.
right. Well, I saw another person who their proof was that whenever you're out in public, like at a restaurant or at a store, the conversations you hear like strangers having never have any depth. And you know, it's like about the weather or sports or whatever. And I'm like, of course, because I'm sorry, I'm not going to go talk about my cousin's abortion at J.C. Penney. Excuse me, I don't like what.
Those aren't the conversations you had
Yeah.
in line at the checkout, my God.
Yeah, sorry. People have those conversations in the privacy of their own homes. That's not those. And there's some weirdos that are more than happy to share that stuff with complete strangers on the street. But for the most part, the average person, they talk about the weather, they talk about sports, they talk about if there's like a big news thing, a movie that they saw last night. They don't get too deep.
What's holding up the line, you know?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. They don't get too deep with each other in public. For you know, it's not proof we're in a simulation. My favorite one though, this guy thought that it was a simulation and they had jumped parallel universes or some dimensions or some shit like that, because he said, my girlfriend and I have lived together for a long time, or for a couple years, whatever. She came in and asked me something about a job that I've never had. And she broke down, like started crying about the job, like because she was confused, thinking I've had this job for years. And the guy said he forgot her middle name no, she forgot his middle name like a couple days later. And then there was one other thing that I don't remember what, but it was like she was having all these memory problems and shit, right? Like and stuff with their brain and emotional stuff. And he's like, I think this might be the simulation, a glitch in the simulation. I'm like, or she's got a brain tumor. Like maybe
this bitch needs to go to the hospital. I don't know.
Yeah, like a brain parasite or you got a radon leak in it could be a million things before the simulation. You know what I like? It's like
right, like
check
with a doctor.
Yeah, maybe go get her brain looked at. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was the other because she got his job wrong, thought he worked at a job that he never had, forgot his middle name, and then she started drinking her coffee with cream in it, and she never liked her coffee with cream. And so
these are not like huge.
No. And she said that what are you talking about? I've always liked my coffee with cream. Personality? No, seriously. Like your girlfriend's dying and you're on Reddit, bro. Like that's like those are all symptoms of either a parasite or a brain tumor or a radon leak in your home that make people act fools like that. You know what I mean? Like
you're taking the wrong avenue for support and help.
Yes. There's like you should take her to a neurologist. You know what I mean? Or at least to get a
doctor to start.
Anybody, yes. That Reddit, asking about the simulation is not where you should begin that journey. I wouldn't recommend it.
That poor girl. I hope that he got off Reddit and took her to a fucking doctor of some sort and they figured that out.
Yeah. Reddit's fucking toxic, man. I haven't been on that. I remember what's that?
Live on Reddit. I can't. I haven't gone on it for years unless somebody sends me something specific and I can only look for a minute and I'm like,
yeah.
I can't handle any of you people anymore. This used to be my community, and now I can't on any of them.
No, it's shit now. It's so shitty. We went I saw a guy on Reddit was talking about how his dog had something wrong with it. It was vomiting blood, and he had COVID, and he didn't want to take it to the vet. I'm like, bro, just bro, I'll let you in all you guys in on a little secret. July of 2020, my dog's uterus about exploded and she had to have an emergency surgery. My girlfriend and I both had COVID and we still took her to the vet. And you know what? My vet's still alive 2 years later. So everyone's okay. Cold. Yeah, everyone
lived. Was a life-threatening thing for the fucking dog.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if it was a person, would you not take him to the ER? You know, like if they're having a heart attack? Take your dude. Life doesn't.
Some of these people probably wouldn't have, though, Caleb.
No, I know. There's people that's a dumb question, because there's literally people that did not take dying loved ones to the hospital because they were afraid of COVID or they had COVID. Like, it's completely insane. It's just insane. I commented, because I don't comment on shit on Reddit, but I'm like, dude, take your dog to the fucking vet. That's not even a question. Like, life, would you, if you had the flu, would you do it? Of course you would. Life doesn't
Right?
stop because you have a virus. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't. I can respect people that when they get physically sick and they have symptoms, don't want to go out in public. You know what I mean? I can understand.
Sure.
I would prefer you don't
That's
come
the
into work.
norm.
I would prefer you don't go to the bar or the store or whatever if you're physically sick and sneezing and shit. But there are emergency situations that require you to leave your home. And, I can understand. No one's going to hate you for taking your dog to the vet when you got COVID, bro. Like, that's
When your dog's maybe dying.
Oh, if it's throwing up blood, it's definitely dying. I know that from
God.
experience, but
If anybody's throwing up blood, they need emergency medical attention.
yeah, there's something wrong with anyone that's vomiting blood. Human, dog, cat, doesn't matter. Yeah, get that person to an ER, emergency vet, whatever you can do, because the shit's not good. It's not a good situation.
And it's way more, life-threatening than a flu or a virus or a cold or whatever.
Right, yeah, than COVID. Yeah, I've got to. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. Don't have the statistics in front of me. But I've got to imagine that the survival rate for COVID is a lot higher than the survival rate of going untreated while you're throwing up blood. Just gonna guess.
Right.
I don't.
And I'm not a biologist, but I do know that I'm a woman. I know that's weird. I gave birth.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's weird.
I thought no. The Supreme Court justice says you have to be a biologist to know what a woman is.
The first thing I thought is you. So you don't know what you are? Like,
yeah. No, she was coached to answer that question that way.
Oh my god, so badly too. What a horrible coaching.
Yeah, no, she was absolutely coached to answer that question that way. There's no doubt in my mind. I was talking on my other show last night about all this shit going on with the what is a woman and everything. And you know who I feel the worst for in this whole thing is just regular gay people. Like, I feel really, because most of them don't want to be lumped in with this shit, man.
No, they don't. I watch TikTok and they want nothing to do with this shit.
Man, they wanted to get married. They wanted to be able to adopt kids like every other person in this country can. Yep. They did not want to come out and teach your 9-year-old that she might be a girl or that she might be a boy and she can be whatever she wants as a gender whenever she wants, and it can change at the drop of a pin. They didn't want none of that shit. And now they're getting lumped in.
They don't want school teachers teaching their kids about sexuality.
No, and they've been lumped in. And Chappelle had a bit about it, man. It's they've piggybacked on the back of the LGB movement, because remember, it used to just be LGB. Mm-hmm. It used to just be LGB. There's like whole like website. I'm sure there Reddit's. I'm sure it's taken down now, but it was called LGB minus the T. Like, they didn't want nothing to do with any of that shit. And it was, who actually had the best take I've seen on it in a while? And I know this name is poison in a lot of circles that listeners on this show probably run in. Arvin Vora.
Listen, if you listen to Vora for the entire thing, he comes out strong and offensive, but he always makes a good point, man.
Yeah, so here's what he says. A common psychological delusion is for someone to believe that he is Jesus Christ reborn. We're faced with two options. Number one, worship and then crucify that person. Number two, help them see that they're not actually Jesus. In other words, we could try to free the mentally ill person from the delusion or insist everyone else becomes deluded. Gender dysphoria is no different. Just like random megalomaniacs aren't Jesus, men aren't women. Believing something that is factually false is definitionally a delusion. Delusions should be addressed. They should be addressed with kindness and empathy, but the goal should be to correct them, not insist everyone else join in on it. I mean, that's fair. That's a fair take. I know everyone hates the guy. He did my podcast a couple years ago, and he's one of those guys, and I don't want to sound like I'm defending him. Well, we're gonna start dropping viewers now that I've defended Arvin Vora. He's one of those guys. He says some things I definitely don't agree with. Right? I want to make that clear. He says some things I don't agree with, but I will respect him for standing by what he says, and for
These
rationalizing.
principles don't change.
Yeah, I'll respect him for it. And I did ask him. I said, Arvin, would you have sex with a 14-year-old girl if she consented? And he said no. So he very clarified that infamous Facebook comment where he said probably not. So we did.
He said no, guys.
We cleared it up. When asked again, he said no. That was the Proud Boy stand down moment that Trump didn't get a redo of in the debates. So I gave him another chance. But no, I mean, it was a productive discussion. And his whole theory behind why he does what he does is if you come out in a super milk toast and bland fashion, if you start something that way, you don't catch a lot of people's attention,
True.
But if you come out and you say some provocative and offensive shit, it's going to start a dialogue with people, whether they want to or not, because they feel the need to address it. And that opens the doorway to other things. Now, when they come to the argument in bad faith already, you can question how many people you're going to win over, how many hearts and minds you're going to win over with a tactic like that. But I can at least understand why he does it the way he does. As a comedian who relies pretty much entirely on provocative shit, I can understand that. I can understand shock humor. I can understand why he approaches arguments and discussions the way he does. So I won't go as far to defend him, but I defend everything he said. But I have respect for Arvin, if nothing else. So that's all.
Me too. Yeah. I definitely, don't agree with everything that he says, and he does come out with the shock value thing. But, like you said, that's to grab people's attention. It's to get people talking. And if you take the time to hear out the entire argument, you can pick out things you agree with and can understand his point of view and his rationale about. So take what you will from it. You're not going to agree with everything, but if you read through it all, if you take the time to not get so put off by the first sentence he does, a couple sentences he does to grab your attention and kind of infuriate you, you'll maybe agree with some stuff. So
yeah, I think the big problem
Arlen's a
is
smart guy.
I think a lot of we talked a little bit about this, about libertarians and their messaging and the way they package it. I think that it could be packaged a lot better, obviously. But I think there are some hills, and you can believe these things and take them to your grave. But there are some hills you have to be willing to die on, or you can't be willing to die on in the public square. You know what I mean? And abolishing the age of consent law is one of those things. You could have every other view you have could be the most rational, reasonable thing imaginable. But if you support that issue, abolishing the age of consent, no one's going to listen to you on anything else, because now you're just the pedophile guy. That's just one of those things. You may wholeheartedly, and I see what he's trying to say. I see he's trying to say the government shouldn't be able to just set an age where people are, boom, now you're mature. Yesterday you weren't, now you are. I understand the logic behind what he said. I don't agree with it, but I understand what he's trying to say. But the average person's not going, when they hear that, they're not going to want to hear anything else you have to say on anything.
Right. And it's not packaged well. And, we all agree as freedom lovers that the government shouldn't be deciding many things. But, we've got to draw the line somewhere. There's got to be protected groups, and one of those has got to be children.
Absolutely. That's exactly it. You can't have, yes, is the system flawless? No, by no means. It's not flawless. When you see a 19-year-old guy who graduated high school last year and his girlfriend's a senior and she's 17 and that guy goes to jail, obviously that's a problem that needs to be fixed. And these cases should be handled on a case-by-case basis.
Absolutely.
But there has to be something. There has to be some set of standards. Otherwise, you're going to get 40-year-old men trying to marry 13-year-olds, trying to
Right.
grown adults
Yeah,
victimizing children.
I got absolutely no problem with the age of consent, and I think it probably should be a one thing across the board. They've got right now we've got age of consent for in some states it's sex, buying cigarettes, buying alcohol, joining the
Guns,
military,
voting, yeah,
guns, voting. Let's tell people when they're adults, and they're adults or they're not. Either they can vote, they
right,
can die for their country, they can buy alcohol and choose to put what they want in their body, or they can't. Either they're adults or they're not. They're not.
exactly,
You're not an adult in increments. Either you're an adult or you're not. Like,
right. No, and yeah, that's exactly. There does need to be just a set age for everything. Not like I don't national, state, whatever. There needs to be a set age where you can do all of those things. And again, the sex thing does need to be on a case by case basis because like there
oh yeah,
are cases like I had. There was a kid in my high school. He was 17. Sent a picture of his junk to his girlfriend that was the same age. This dude's on a sex offender registry list for the rest of his life because the principal found out about it.
no.
I mean,
See,
that guy should not
so
be
wrong.
on there with the dude that diddled 4 kids down the street. That guy's
No,
nowhere.
these are not the
That
same
dude,
fucking people doing the same fucking
right.
harm.
Now that guy's going to work at, that guy's 17 years old. You just cursed him to work at Arby's for the rest of his life because he sent a picture as a kid. He sent a dumb picture. He made one dumb mistake when he was 17 years old. That's fucked up in my opinion. Same thing. Dude gets drunk and goes and pisses behind a dumpster downtown. Shouldn't be on the same list as the serial rapist.
No, that guy should not be on a sex offender list.
No.
And, the same thing with the guy pissing in a park at night when there's obviously no kids around.
Yeah.
Like, he's just fucking peeing. He's not out there jerking off in front of kids. Come on now.
Yeah. If he whipped it out in the day, I can see that. That's a little different.
That's valid. That would be a sex offender registry, valid.
In Vegas, it's commonplace to just drop your pants and piss on the street. I've seen that many of times there. So that's, but yeah, I mean, there has to be some nuance to the issue. On, like I said, the guy that's 19 has a girlfriend that's 17.
If these are two consenting people that are within a couple years,
use some common sense. I mean,
yes,
dude's
I don't
21.
like the zero tolerance bullshit. That's zero thinking. I don't want to think about it. We're just going to throw the same book at everybody.
Right. Now, if she's like 12, yeah, put a bullet through his head for all that's different. Like, that's a scumbag.
Case.
Yeah, completely different case there. And I think it relies on common sense and for people to be able to think for themselves. And I think a lot of Americans are afraid of that, and they'd rather just not. And they'd rather destroy people's lives for, than have to use some critical thinking skills every now and again. But still, I am with you 100%. There absolutely needs to be an age of consent law. Anyone that doesn't think that is crazy. And I can understand why someone wouldn't want to listen to their points on other shit. So that's just my opinion. I'm sure that won't win me any friends in some libertarian circles, but I don't identify as anything except my he him pronouns. No, I'm kidding.
I haven't decided on mine yet. They're going to be highfalutin.
Zach Bravietti used to say his pronouns are alpha and male.
There you go. I dig it. Even though not fitting. Just kidding. I love you, Zach. I love you to death. I hope you're doing very well in New York. With
He is. He is. He just did the oh fuck.
Yeah, I saw he did an interview on the street for the Daily Show.
No, he did a show at the Stand in New York too. Yep, he's buddies with Ari Shaffir now, and well, not really, but Ari recognized him. So, but no, he seems to be doing well. But yeah, so good for him. No, I'm very happy for him. He said, actually, I won't say it on air what he said because I don't want to start a bunch of shit for him. But yeah, no, I'm very happy for him. He's doing well out there. But yeah, so we just did like an hour. Do we want to plug anything else?
No, I was just gonna address a comment.
Oh yeah, which one? I'll pull it up.
The one at 10:50.
Oh, okay. Okay. Libertarians believe in informed consent, not consent in general. Certain people can't provide informed consent. Yes.
So yeah, I believe the sorry, it's the end of the hour. I'm losing it. So informed consent, yes, absolutely. Nobody without informed consent should be giving or expected to give informed consent. And I believe that the two protected, or the very few groups of people that should be considered protected are, people who are not mentally able to do things like give consent or take care of themselves, the elderly, and the children.
Absolutely. Yep. I'm mentally disabled up there as
Yeah,
well.
that's what
Most
I
libertarians.
like mentally. Yeah, that was my first.
Autistic, like libertarian. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, some of them can change their own diapers.
That's true.
I'm kidding. I love you all.
Well, not all. Yeah, I sure don't.
Well,
So.
yeah, the ones that I can do without don't watch this show, so it's fine.
Yeah, no shit, right? Because they're blocked. Here's Gilbert Godfrey. Yes, Gilbert Godfrey died. The vaccine strikes again.
Did he get vaxxed? God, he was
They
only
all are.
67.
Yeah,
Poor
I don't. They
guy.
didn't say what it was that killed him. There's some people say it was the vaccine. Who fucking knows? I doubt it was. It never.
Oh, thank you, Nima.
Okay. I thought that said we. See, I can only see my monitors like way far away. I need to get one right here. But for this kind of shit. But I thought that said we love Dr. Dre. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, okay, that was random. But yeah, okay. That makes more sense. But yeah, so like if you're in the Omaha metro area, April 16th, Wired Pub and Grill, Harmful Content Comedy, you can go there.
Is that this
$10.
Saturday?
Yes, this Saturday.
This Saturday.
9 p.m. It is the Midwest's most offensive comedy show. Y'all know the drill. Come check it out. April 20th.
Doors at 8?
What's that?
Doors at 8, show at 9?
8:30 doors. I mean, if you show up at 8, we'll have someone there to take your money, but that would be dumb to show up and just hang out for an hour. So,
You can hang out with me.
That's true, yeah. But yeah, so doors at 8:30, show at 9. You can show up at 8. I'll be there at 8, 7:30. April 20th, Lincoln at the Storm Cellar. We're doing the Snoop Dogg pre-show, so come out for that. Snoop Dogg will not actually be there. So I think it's crazy. Snoop Dogg shows Lincoln, fucking Nebraska on 420 though. So that's
really
wild. Yeah, that's where he's going to be on 420. So, and then
Lincoln's
Friday,
gonna be lit.
we got a couple others. But then Friday, May 13th, if you are in the Kansas City, Topeka area, I will be in Emporia, Kansas. Down there, you can check all the shit on my Instagram. It's always posted. So,
Which is
at Caleb isn't funny. Hold on, I'll pull it up real quick. I promise the stand-up is funny, but it's ironic. It's funny, right?
It's funny.
At Caleb isn't funny on Instagram. You can check me. Dates are always posted there. Friday, May 13th at Emporia, Kansas, if you're in the area. And then we got some other dates coming up soon. So stay tuned. It's going to be lots of fun.
Oh, next week, tune in. We will have our guest as Mr. Spike Cohen.
Spike Cohen. Fuck yeah. The next president of the United States. So
yeah, hopefully. Oh.
Probably not. It's probably going to be Ron DeSantis.
Probably not, but you know what? One day he will make a fucking fabulous president, you guys. Listen to this guy.
The last Jewish millennial. So.
Hey, Jeff. Now that we're about to sign off. The last Jewish millennial. Yes, he's a sweet guy. He's awesome. Anyway, check. We'll see you next week, guys.
Yep. See you next week. Peace the fuck out, y'all.